One of the greatest hurdles facing China's future development is water, which must support the country's 1.4 billion people and booming industries. Despite being one of the top 5 countries with the largest freshwater resources on a per capita basis, China faces serious water shortages which are further complicated by a highly irregular spatial distribution and consumption. The densely populated north suffers from acute water shortages, whereas the south is prone to severe floods. To optimize the allocation of water resources, China has embarked on the construction of a mega-engineering project, the South-North Water Diversion Project, or SNWD. Hello everyone, welcome to the world of China. In today's video, we're talking about China's one of the greatest and controversial projects, the South-to-North China Water Transfer Project. So stay tuned and hit the subscribe button. The South-to-North Water Diversion Project in China is the largest of its kind ever undertaken. The project involves extracting water from southern rivers and supplying it to the dry north. This massive scheme has already taken 50 years from the idea to start and is expected to take almost as long to construct. Planned for completion in 2050, it'll eventually divert 44.8 billion cubic meters of water annually to the population centers of the drier north. When finished, the work will link China's 4 main rivers, the Yangtze, Yellow River, Huaihe, and Haihe, and requires the construction of 3 diversion routes, stretching south to north across the eastern, central, and western parts of the country. The complete project is expected to cost $62 billion, more than twice as much as the country's controversial Three Gorges Dam. North China has about half the country's population, but 19% of its freshwater resources and industrial and urban growth have strained the nation's river and underground reserves. The idea of canals to divert water from southern rivers northward to reduce shortages surfaced in the 1950s, and the revolutionary communist leader Mao Zedong embraced the idea, saying in 1952, "The South has plenty of water and the North lacks it, so if possible, why not borrow some?" The plan to build a dam near the junction of the Han and Don rivers in central China was launched in 1958, but serious plans to build a canal northward developed only in the 1990s, and work on the South-to-North Water Transfer Project began in 2002. In addition, many of the country's ministries, organizations, and institutes were also involved during the 50 years of extensive planning and research to turn Mao's primary concept into the current scheme of work. The South-North Water Transfer Project is one of the most ambitious and expensive water transfer projects in the world. The project was introduced because of some major reasons, such as there is a significant demand for water for economic growth in the more dry north of China. Population density is high, so there is considerable demand for domestic water. Water is needed for irrigating farmland. There is a water shortage in the north of the country. The water table below Beijing is falling at a rate of 5 meters per year due to over-abstraction. This massive project has some advantages. The advantages of the South-North Water Transfer Project include reducing water insecurity in the north and supporting economic development, food security improving as more water is available for irrigation, health benefits from improved water quality, improved water supply for industry. Additional water will help China cope with climate change. Groundwater withdrawal is reducing. Like advantages, this project has some massive dark sides and disadvantages. The disadvantages of the South-North Water Transfer Project include hundreds of thousands of people were displaced from the construction of dams and reservoirs, ecological damage to the natural environment. The region is prone to earthquakes which could cause extensive damage to the scheme. Project costing a significant amount of money to taxpayers. Antiquities have been lost. Considerable evaporation from canals and reservoirs. Now, if we look into the project plan, the SNWDP consists of 3 water diversion projects: the East Route Project, or ERP, the Middle Route Project, or MRP, and the West Route Project, or WRP. diverting water from the lower, middle, and upper reaches of the Yangtze River respectively. It also connects four major rivers: the Yangtze River, the Huai River, the Yellow River, and the Hai River. Phase 1 of the ERP and Phase 1 of the MRP are both in operation since 2013 and 2014 respectively, whereas the controversial West Route is expected to be ready by 2050. In May 2011, Chinese officials admitted that they had urgent problems. The water diversion scheme is increasingly marred with concerns about its cost, its environmental impact, and the sacrifices poor people in the provinces are told to make for those in richer cities. The project has sparked so many ecological, financial, and political concerns that government advisors are calling for the plan to be delayed and possibly curtailed, raising the possibility that this could prove a mega project too far even for China. The eastern and central sections are going ahead as planned, through the western section is well behind schedule and may be cancelled. One obstacle to the south-north water transfer projects is resistance by villagers who don't want to relocate. In the village of Mashuan, on the banks of the Danjiangkou Dam in Henan Province, hundreds of villagers staged a march to criticize a local leader for ignoring their needs and engaging in corruption related to the dam. Officials expect more protests in the future. Many families have been resettled more than once. Zhang Guangran, an elderly woman who farms a small plot on the edge of Dangjiangkou Reservoir, was forced to move twice by dam projects during her youth. Now, her son has been told he must leave his nearby apartment, which will be flooded when water levels are raised for the diversion. She says the compensation of 40,000 yuan is not enough to buy a new home, but they have no choice. You can't go against the government. If you do, they'll force you to move. For 3 days in November, thousands of residents of a resettlement area in Quanjiang City blocked roads to protest poorly built homes and lack of promised compensation, according to a report by Radio Free Asia. Officials ordered the police to break up the rally, resulting in clashes, injuries, and arrests. Elsewhere, there have been reports of protests. Last November, police clashed with thousands of migrants in Qianjiang City to protest poor housing and low compensation, according to Radio Free Asia. During its design, construction, and operation phases, the project has faced multiple challenges, such as the displacement of an estimated 330,000 people for the expansion of the Danjiangkou Reservoir, which marked the beginning of the project's middle route, the heightening of the Danjiangkou Reservoir concrete dam, the building of a tunnel across the Yellow River, the structural safety and quality control of a super-large diameter pre-stressed concrete cylinder pipe, or PCCP, the design and construction of a large-sized canal, the optimal structural design of a large-flow pre-stressed concrete aqueduct, the treatment of an expensive soil or rock canal slope, foundation treatment in coal mine hollowed areas, waterhead allocation in long-distance water transfer, water diversion during the ice period, the installation and operation of pumping devices in large pumping stations. Like China's other mega-project, the Three Gorges Dam, the diversion scheme has provoked many environmental concerns, principally regarding the loss of antiquities, the displacement of people, and the destruction of pasture land. In addition, plans for further industrialization along the routes of the project pose a serious risk of pollution to the diverted water. To help counter this threat, the Chinese government has earmarked just over $80 million for Jiangdu, Huai'an, Sukyan, and Suzhou in the east of Jiangsu province to build treatment facilities, though estimates suggest that the actual cost is more than double this figure. Overall, around 260 projects have been instigated to reduce pollution and help ensure that water in the areas of the diversion project will meet minimum drinking standards. The government is now taking a more cautious approach, waiting and seeing the results before proceeding further. The original plans were made 20 years ago. Since then, our society has developed and the natural environment has changed. My view is that we must make a new assessment of the plan for the middle and eastern legs, a senior government advisor told The Guardian. And then we should decide whether we need changes. whether we should go ahead with the second and third stages. The decision to delay the project was made after the Sichuan earthquake in 2008 was not made lightly. There are concerns that failure to complete the project could mean severe water shortages that result in great hardships for people living in northern China and cause the economy there to falter. Rather than relying on these mega projects to address national water challenges, China should reduce rising water demand, improve water use efficiency, and tackle water pollution. Given agricultural water demand accounts for most of the country's water usage, China should balance water and food security and consider undertaking regional and structural reforms to its agricultural sector. That's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Give this video a big thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comment below. For more exciting videos, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. I'm dropping new videos regularly. Till then, check out the channel for more exciting videos.